Hello and welcome back to another episode of PopCulture X, and we are back in the list, and we are at some more of a channel favourite.
I thought when you said we're out, I thought you were actually going to have a number. This is number 79 of 3,000, but
No, we're back with a channel favourite as we are visiting Papa Emeritus and the Nameless Ghouls with Ghost, with
a
Griftwood.
ghost. Right, what era of Ghost are we in here?
This
What album
is
cycle? Which Papa am I getting?
this is Papa 4. This is the latest album.
Okay, yep.
So off I'm brain farting the album title.
It'll come flooding. So the one like we had the covers EP, but the album that come before that covers EP.
Yes,
The one
Impera,
okay.
which is the
And
one
I
that
think we played in this album a couple of times, haven't we?
yeah, because we did the singles when they first came out.
Yeah.
Because it was like it was the first new one that we'd done whilst doing
Ooh.
this.
Yeah. No,
And in other news, before we jump in, it has been announced, and there's been a trailer of there is going to be a film coming out at some point this year. There's not any sort of real news of what this film is, but there is a ghost film coming out.
Well,
And
I've said you've got much more experience than me, but one of the things that really captures your attention to them very early doors is their build-up of the kind of the storyline and the lore. And I said to you, I'd love to see a comic book. Like, movie also cool, but movie feels like it might be my transition to getting my ghost comic book as well at some point, even if it's just remember, like, when we were kids growing up, you'd always get the spin-off comic adaptation of the movie, and you'd get the comic and you go, I don't really remember some of this stuff being in the movie, and also I remember the movie being 2 hours long, and this is like 10 pages. What's going on? So yeah,
but yeah, the rumor is the film is going to be where we get the new Papa revealed, because it wasn't done on tour on this last tour cycle. So yeah, playing with a new medium to further the lore.
Well, and also, I guess, like, with the movie budgets, and I'm not saying they've suddenly got Marvel movie budgets, but yes, like, what a resplendent way to potentially introduce your new Papa. Like, I don't know. I'll be in for this one. It'll be the first time I experience a Papa live.
Yes,
an introduction of a Papa live, shall I say?
So that's definitely something to look out for later in the year. But shall we get our Griftwood on?
Yes, let's do this. Boom. Griftwood.
So, Mr. Seddon, are you righteous?
No, not in any sense of the term, I don't think. In fact, I think if I tried to make a claim of it, people who know me in the real world would go, yeah, good one. Um, I, I hadn't really thought beforehand about the title, but like when listening to the song, that kind of grift part, the elements around. Well, certainly what I took from it was uh, let's kind of say I say fake idols, but I think fake idols suggest that it's someone who actually is an idol. But people using things like religion to further their own goal, their own power. I'm kind of in my head was picturing. I think if there'd been a video, I'd be picturing it being like a kind of American TV show preacher. But I don't know whether partly that was the vision that was going in my head, because musically, for large parts of it, it really made me think of, and my God, I'm blanking on it, but the Genesis Phil Collins song that they cover.
Jesus, He Knows Me?
Yeah, and I'm not saying like the notes are the same, but just stylistically, and it kind of, and I know this come before, so I went, oh yeah, I can see why they picked that song out, because they clearly kind of have a love for music of that era. But I think because that kept popping in my head, that's why I kept kind of going the TV evangelist preacher sort of thing, because obviously that video is sort of chock full of that.
Well, there was articles that came out around this time that some of this album was written as a reflection of the state of America circa 2022, and a certain orange person that was in power.
I imagine, and him and many cronies of,
Yeah.
because as much as people, well, as much as he was in power, often they bring some quite egregious people along with them, don't they?
Yes, but yeah, that sort of, as you say, false idol and sort of grift of that sort of, oh look, let's put them in this position of greatness.
Well, and I guess utilising things that people actually really do genuinely care about, but kind of weaponising it for your own means. You don't believe in it yourself, but you'll kind of go, come on, everybody.
Sell it to make me better.
Yeah. And while you're going, yes, I do, they're out the back snorting cocaine off of prostitutes. And for any lawyers of anyone that this song might be in reference to, bring it on. Got nothing. What are you going to get from me?
So this, when I first listened to the album as a whole, when I first got it, this one jumped out at me straight away because of the riff that's on it. Because this riff is so ripped off of Van Halen. It is the ultimate Van Halen tribute riff.
And I guess, like that kind of, that era, this feels, and I know we've talked about them before of going, they're not afraid to kind of go back to music of the past, stuff that obviously inspired them and liked them. But as I say, for large parts of this, it was one of the most evocative for me of those days, and that's probably why.
Yeah,
it probably is somewhere in the back of my head. I'm going, maybe I remember that riff or something like that. But yeah, I can totally see where you're going with that.
Yeah, it is the Ain't Talking About Love riff, just slightly changed and on a slightly different sort of pedal and effects on there. But yeah, this was the song that was just like, oh my God, and this has always since been my favourite song on the album.
There's a couple of bits in there like which I just kept laughing, and it was the bits where they kept going yes, and I just want to get that out of the way now because I want to talk positively about everything. But those yes bits, I was laughing, but not because I thought they were intentionally funny. I don't know, they were just making me giggle because they just felt a bit out of play, as if you and me had decided to knock a song together, and in the background I've gone, well, I'm not doing nothing for a minute, so let's just add yes. But
it fits in with Ghost and their showiness though at the same time. Like, it's that sort of playful silliness that, especially on this album and the album before, where that much more pop
Yes.
vibe and wheelhouse comes in, where you know I know there's this whole thing of, oh, they're not metal, they're not rock, they're just a pop band, they're just a pop band for goths. Do you know what? I don't care.
Yeah.
They write fucking banging songs that are fun, you know. And I'm all in on the lore. I'm all in on everything with fucking Ghost. But it's songs like this, which is where you get those people that say they are just, oh, they're just a pop band for goths. I'm like, yeah, but how many other pop bands are writing songs this fucking good?
Well, I'm not going to say like we don't sort of dunk on things sometimes if we don't like it, but I mean, ultimately, generally, if we are dunking on it, maybe it's because we haven't liked it, or there have been some stuff we've done where I've just thought it's like bad. But yeah, the description of a pop band for goths, is that a problem? I don't think it is it? Like,
No.
but why can't goths have pop? free goths. No, but like it is the genre. And look, while we do quickly genre, I know I really struggle with new metal, but I still want to come back for more because the genre isn't normally the problem, is it? It's
No.
the it's the what they're doing, and I think there's some parts you will like less, but yeah, I don't know that idea of rejecting it just because it's considered like not meta enough, not rocky enough, and things like that. And, do you like it? I guess in that front of going, it doesn't have to be. It's that tribalism thing again, isn't it? Of going,
Yeah.
it'd be like I always say my first love is hip hop, but it'd be me never wanting to listen to anything but hip hop. And why? There's some stuff you'll really like from all genres, so like kind of jump in, but by that same token, other than if it's new metal, because I realise how hypocritical I sound, don't just dunk on it because of its genre. Except new metal. But yeah, I don't know. Like, yes, I'm with you. Like, it seems a weird thing to sort of judge them on. Like, if someone sort of said, "I don't like it," that's a lot more different than going, "I don't like it. It's too poppy."
Yeah.
Like. But anyway, yeah. So for the most part of this song, I was really enjoying it, and when I say I was really enjoying it, I think I was kind of enjoying what they were doing lyrically, but I think musically that nostalgia kick was there for me, and I was like, I would say fun and fine for the most part of it, and good. It's when we get to that bridge, when they do that change up, when we get to the Holy Mother bit. Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Absolutely loved it. That took it from like kind of where it was to kind of way up there. And I think the fact that doesn't stick around for too long, it's probably 45 seconds to a minute of the song. I think it benefits for it being that length. And then coming back to what we already had. But, that really, really, really grabbed us. Like, it was almost... And I wasn't expecting it, because I think I got so settled into how... And you get the guitar solo afterwards, which, I thought was a really, really good.
Yeah.
But I'd kind of settled into what I thought the song was going to be. And that change-up was just magnificent for me.
Yeah, it's the one thing that I will always say about Ghost and Tobias. If boy knows how to write a fucking song,
Yeah,
and knows what works and what fits where, and with so much of it, never sits or stays too long.
yeah.
So when there is a change, it's for the right amount of time and the right reason, and it goes the right place for it as a
Yeah,
whole.
we said before, like timing is such a timing and time of is so difficult in music, isn't it? To get that right, something that you're really enjoying can lose its sheen very quickly if
If it
if
stays
it's
too
dragged
long.
out. Yeah, and I think there's an argument that says I probably could have gone a song just in the style of the bridge, but probably I enjoyed it that much more because it was, and I say so different. We're not like talking the difference between jazz and classical here, but because it was so different stylistically to the rest of the song. And to be honest, a lot of the Ghost songs we've covered, the transitions, the bridges, and things like that, I've often felt are closer to what was going on in the rest of the song, whereas that felt like a total gear shift. And yeah,
Mm.
loved it. Loved it.
So
Well done,
yes,
Griftwood.
yes.
Who knew
So
that
yes.
President Trump would birth great music? Give me that Trump album now.
So let us know down there what you think of Griftwood.
Let us know if there
We
is a Trump album. I don't really want to react to it, but if there is one. We're the first time we've covered orange racists on this channel.
No. So we will, as we've said before, we will be doing most of Ghost stuff. We won't be doing it as full albums in the same way that we've done other bits, but
It's quite nice
we'll
to
be
visit them sporadically, isn't it?
yeah, dropping in and out around all of the periods of Ghost.
Yeah.
So as always, YouTubey things, like, subscribe, and ring of the bell. And until next time, good day.